Hey, good morning and welcome to Community Voice. Today is Monday, July 17th. I'm your host, Josh Engel. I did want to let everyone tuning in know that today's episode is being live streamed on our WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any questions or comments for our guest today, feel free to throw them in the chat and I can read them out to him. Today we're going to be chatting about RaLin's Construction Academy. The RaLin Construction Academy is the only one of its kind in the state, featuring a unique arrangement between a general contractor and a school system. The program began in 2019 after conversations between Dr. Albertus, superintendent of the Carrollton City Schools, and Ben Garrett, president of RaLin, concerning the need to develop trade skills in the local future workforce. The program is a multi-year pathway in which students learn and practice trade skills such as print reading, carpentry, masonry, steel fabrication, field engineering principles, while incorporating state of Georgia board BOE standards to satisfy the CTAE pathway requirements. Today we are joined by Chris Stone. Chris Stone is the construction instructor at Carrollton High School, as well as the academy instructor for RaLin. He's got a dual role, but I think that we'll so we have no better person in the studio with us than to chat about that, of course, because Chris has been doing this for a very long time. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming on the program today. And
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, and this is a great program. You and I have had a chance to chat a little bit before the program to kind of get an idea of just how big of a deal this is. So before we just jump in head first about the program and its curriculum, the purpose and history of this organization and of this arrangement here, could we chat a bit about you? Could you tell me a little bit about your history with RaLin leading up to this point? Because just what little you've shared with me in advance, I feel like you were the guy to teach this class.
Well, oftentimes I have been asked, when did I go to work for RaLin? How long have I worked for RaLin? And the honest truth is that Ray Fulford hired me in 1977. And I'll leave it at that. And folks' jaw drops and they walk off thinking, wow, okay,
yeah,
quite a while. Well, that is a true statement, and it is true. And I was in high school, and it was for summer work, and I moved on to other venues, but I intend to end my career where I began. That summer job turned into Christmas vacation job, spring break job, weekend job. Anytime I could be on the job, I was a RaLin employee. And as I finished high school, I asked Mr. Fulford if he would entertain me continuing to work as a co-op. At that point in time, we were in a quarter system, and the co-op program, basically you worked in your field of study for a quarter, go back to school for a quarter, return to your job for the next quarter, go back to school. In other words, each quarter alternated between the job and your on-campus curriculum. So I attended Auburn University and completed the building science program. So I completed that in '84. Most of building science graduates pursue project management or estimating roles in general contracting organizations, but my goal was to become a big-time superintendent. With the interest, super interested in tower work, so my first employment was with an extremely large company, McDivitt Street. Did a lot of hospital work, a lot of tall tower, office tower work. Moved from McDivitt Street on to a company called R.J. Griffin, which was basically a spinoff from McDivitt Street. Super organization. Was there for 12 years. Spent. It was at that point in my career, it was time for me to get off the road.
Yeah.
The babies were in school, and so I went to work with Randall Redding, the RKR, as his first general superintendent. Spent 14 years with Randall, helping grow that program company. And in 2013, switched over with RaLin. as a general superintendent, and this program, and we'll talk in a bit about how the school program began, but which was in 19. So not many employers when you really look at the list. Pretty short list there.
But a lot of experience. I mean, you have now. I mean, you've been working as a general superintendent in construction before with RKR, but then with RaLin. I mean, for what 20 something years?
Yes.
So that's a lot of experience, a lot of hands-on experience.
Yes.
And as you chatted with me a bit before the program, so not only were you RaLin's first co-op, but you were also a general superintendent for many, many years, which of course made it a no-brainer that when it came time to put together this program, that you would be the guy to teach.
Well, yes, and I become quite passionate about this program because it is me, and RaLin and the school system both allow me to do it my way.
Because there was a need for people with these for up and coming students to have these real skills.
It's fun. I have a lot of friends who are school teachers, and I've heard conversation about seeing the light bulb glow, and I didn't have a clue what they were talking about until I started this endeavor, and now I understand. When you see that light bulb glow, it all makes it worthwhile.
Absolutely. So as far as this program, it came together. How did this? Did they approach you about it, or is it something you brought up to them?
In 2018, after, as you mentioned before, multiple conversations between Dr. Albertus and Mr. Garrett about the need to develop trade skills, that the lack of skilled trade craftsmen, it was a real issue in the construction industry, and so a decision was made to let RaLin host a program by creating a construction pathway within the Carrollton High School's CTAE department. So I was invited and worked on a panel to work out the logistics of how to make that pathway work with both RaLin and school board personnel. So at the time, we were building a lot of hotels in 3 states, and so as the general superintendent, my job was to hire and fire, and so I'm constantly looking for the right fit, the right employee, constantly, and with some success, but with a lot of disappointment. And so while en route to jobs in 3 states, I would find out where an existing construction program, not a welding program, but a construction program, whether it be a carpentry or a masonry concentration, was being taught, and I would call ahead and ask to stop in and visit just so I could see what was in place. Well, quite frankly, I visited programs in 3 states, and I did not see a product that, as general superintendent, I was willing to buy. And so I, with a lot of soul searching, decided that maybe this is something that I can make a difference with. So I volunteered to take on the task and to create and teach what I was willing to hire. I want to teach the skills, basically five fundamental trades the skills that I look for in a 20 to 25-year-old employee, and new employee, and that's where it all started.
And here you are, at the ground level, helping foster the skills that you would be looking for as a general superintendent?
The first class was fall of 2019, and that that first class, of course, everything was brand new. Every day was a brand new adventure. So we the first 2 years, the students, 12 students, would get on a bus in the morning on campus and come to 109 Parkwood Circle, which is a warehouse that actually constructed in the mid 70s, and we would do our deal off campus. We're where we can dig holes in the ground and we can make a lot of noise, and we're not bothering anybody. And then at 11:30, the students get back on the bus and go back to campus to eat lunch and have their last 2 block periods for the day. Awesome. But it's a extremely unique partnership. It could not exist without both partners. In other words, RaLin has responsibility, the school system has responsibility, but as you mentioned earlier, we're the only program of this kind in the state. And yes, I cover state standards, but I mix in the good stuff. I cover the legalities, but the majority of what we do is what I'm looking to hire, what I'm looking for a RaLin employee, those skills to possess.
Time is 8:42. We're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. Actually, before we do, we'll read a quick message from a good friend of mine, Thomas Upchurch, legend in this local community here. He says, "Thank you, Chris and RaLin, Ben Garrett, and Mark Albertus for all you are doing for our children." We're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. When we come back, we will continue our conversation with construction instructor as well as academy instructor for RaLin and the Carrollton High School as we chat more about RaLin's Construction Academy. So stay with us.
The customized academic scholar journey at Oak Mountain Academy is individually designed to provide students with a personalized, clearly defined academic track that earns the student a series of distinctions upon graduation. This journey enables academically driven students to pursue a focused, rigorous course of study personalized to their wants and desires. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
And we're back to Community Voice. Time is 8:44 in the morning. Today we're chatting with construction instructor with Carrollton City High School, as well as academy instructor representative from RaLin, Chris Stone, as we chat about the RaLin Construction Academy. If you're just tuning in, we are live streaming on our WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any questions or comments for our guest, feel free to throw them in the comments, and we can get them to our guest here. So we've just chatted a bit about your long history, not just with RaLin, but with construction in general. And together with the Carrollton City School System and Dr. Albertus, the superintendent of the Carrollton City Schools, helped create this program that would allow students to get hands-on experience in the necessary skills that you, a longtime general superintendent in construction, would be looking for in a potential hire. So if we could, let's chat about the curriculum. Let's chat about what you are working hard to make sure that these students are getting plenty of experience in. You mentioned, I believe it was 5 particular components.
Yes, and also to begin with, this course is truly a stepping stone between a high school classroom environment and a real live job. As I mentioned, we're in an old warehouse. We have some heat, and we have a lot of fans, and we do most of what we do outside. And I tell the kids that there are no chairs. The only chairs in the shop is the one behind my desk. All right, fellas, if you can't handle this, you might want to rethink an occupation. But yes, we have indoor facilities for the females, and we have the porta-john outside for the males. And yes, I did say females. This past school year, we had 2 superstar female students. Absolutely added a whole new twist. No 2 groups are alike. Each has its own personality, and each class I'll cater what we do based on the personality of those 12 students. And so this last year was a super group of kids, 4 of which are working this summer for RaLin as summer interns. Currently constructing an ROTC obstacle course on the high school campus. And the carpentry work, folks come by and visit, and they just assume that this is a RaLin crew. I said, yes, it is a RaLin crew made up of high school students, and they're doing a fabulous job. But the stepping stone has several folds. I want to expose these students to an industry that they may or may not have any knowledge of. You drive down Dixie Street and you see a project going on, but that the fella in the ready mix truck, or the fella in the crane cab, or the fella walking the parapet on top of the roof. But what does he do? What is the industry behind each of those individuals? And I find that just exposing these kids to various trades, that opens the door to that's just the tip of the iceberg, because what is seen from the sidewalk is just the tip of a humongous industry, just a huge industry. But I teach structure. I don't teach any mechanical, electrical, plumbing. I teach concrete, carpentry, masonry, steel, print reading, layout skills, those skills that bring a building out of the ground. And I've yet to see conduit and ductwork hold a roof system up. Okay, so along with the everything centers around the carpentry. We do a tremendous amount of concrete formwork, concrete place and finish, and quite frankly, as mentioned before, I'm the only program that I know of in the state who concentrates on concrete. And show me a building that's not sitting in concrete. Okay, all right. Case in point. So, print reading. Kids roll their eyes. Do we have to? Yes, sir, we have to, because communication in any industry, in any occupation, communication, both written and verbal, and in our case, the written, being able to read working drawings and shop drawings is vital, and makes you a much more valuable employee once you're out of my sight. So to print reading, and we're actually pretty good at it. We win those competitions when we go.
Nice.
And carpentry skills, in my mind, having come from a long line of carpenters, I'm a bit biased, but many other trade skills spin off basic carpentry skills. And so we first day of class, everybody gets sized for a new pair of boots, picks out their very own nail apron, picks out which hammer they want to swing, gets a tri-square, a new tape, and a folding rule, and 3 or 4 carpenter pencils, and we're ready to start day 2. We get the fun stuff. Get the peril out of the way first go round. But as I mentioned, concrete is sort of our background. The carpentry leads into the formwork, which leads into rebar fabrication. We do a lot of shop drawing work where we basically design what we're going to build and talk about forces and the physics of the science behind what concrete does and how to resist it and how to handle it and how to work smart and not hard. And I could spend all day, every day on nothing but concrete, but I do lend time. We lay a lot of block and a lot of brick. I am happy to let be known that we produced the number 2 mason in the state at the recent Skills USA state competition.
So we already have winners from this group.
We've got winners all over the board, but Joseph Sales competed all year in AGC competitions and did exceedingly well when we got and qualified to make it to the state competition within the Skills USA organization, and came away with the number 2, and that was phenomenal.
So they're learning. They are truly learning the fundamentals, but they're getting it. They're not just on the sidewalk anymore.
No. This is hands-on.
There.
This is and Elizabeth Sanders, the CTAE director at Carrollton High School, vets these students. I want to say she had 38 applicants for 12 spots for this fall. And she has to narrow that 38 down to 12, and she has her criteria, and she's done a very good job thus far in sending me the right group. Now, some of these kids are college material, some of these kids are not. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're all in the same boat. We're going to learn the basics, and we're going to learn how to do. So that those kids that do go on, and I'm proud to say that I've have 2 former students now in 4-year construction management programs, one at KSU and one starting this fall at Auburn. The one at Auburn is Jocelyn Hernandez, one of the superstars from this last class. Joey Berry is in his second year, will begin his second year in KSU's construction management program. But right now, batting 40% on placement rate of kids. Now, that's not with RaLin. That's industry as a whole. We've got linemen. We've got 2 certified welders. We've got some fellows hanging ductwork. We've got some fellows who went in the maintenance on the maintenance side. Got some carpenters. And a fellow that just recently made foreman with his organization. So the combination of learning to read structural, civil, architectural prints and understand and be able to work from those. I mean, these are real live building drawings that we learn on. Kids, the Carrollton High School drawings from Southern A&E, that's a focal point. The kids can walk through that school and point out what they just learned. Exactly. Carpentry goes without saying. We do a lot of masonry work. Layout skills are skills that I honestly don't know where field engineers, other than going to work for an existing and learning on the job, layout meaning providing line and grade, that individual has to be super smart, sharp and smart, to be able to, because he is responsible for keeping that building square and plumb.
Absolutely.
Given all the trades, line and grade to work from. And slowly but surely, we're beginning to introduce more and more steel fabrication into our program. I was able to buy some really nice welding equipment through some grant money that we chased after last year. And so the welding, not to create a welding program that other schools have whole year welding programs. This equipment was used. We fabricate columns and base plates and gussets and clips and then turn around and set that steel and we'll talk in our next segment about some of our projects. But along with the hands-on, you can't just be driving 16-penny nails all day long. A lot of math. We have to learn. We learn how to estimate materials, whether it be wood, steel, masonry. We got to learn how to count the bricks and the sticks. Safety should be at the top of my list, but safety is such an integral part of every single thing we do. Can't afford to not. So
time is 8:55. We're going to go ahead and take our second commercial break. But when we come back, we'll chat a bit in the last few minutes we have left about some projects that the RaLin Construction Academy have put work into, and possibly a bit about the future of the program as we continue our conversation with Chris Stone as we chat about the RaLin Construction Academy. So stay with us.
The World Language Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined, curriculum-based track to acquire essential knowledge and skills for success in biliteracy fields of study. The successful completion of this journey provides colleges with a method to recognize a rigorous foreign language immersion experience for all students at Oak Mountain Academy. I'm Patrick Duran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
And we're back to Community Voice. Chris Stone, construction instructor with Carrollton High School, as we chat about the RaLin Construction Academy. We only have a couple of minutes left here, but I did want to make sure we chat a bit about some of the projects that you've worked on. And before I forget, you did mention that on top of all these practical skills, you're also giving them some soft skills too.
Resume writing, interview skills, how to communicate, how to do the right thing. Some life skills involved with just being, how to be a good employee, a responsible employee, and how to look at life not only through our own eyes but through the eyes of others as well.
Perfect. So can we, in the last little bit we have, could you chat a bit about some of the projects that you have worked on with these classes? Well,
if you ever drive by 109 Parkwood Circle, you're going to see a lot of formed concrete. I like to call these forever projects. I like to call these projects that a kid can drive his kids by 15 years from now and say, when I was in high school, I formed that wall. I dug and poured that footing. I placed and finished that slab. And anytime you drive by, anything outside of the sheet metal on the exterior of the building is student built, with the exception of the driveway. We share a driveway, but everything else is student built. A lot of footings, a lot of grade beams, formed walls, slabs. We have a set of concrete steps. And a sign of last year's class built a sign, a monumental sign, which is, I like to say, the most cosmopolitan sign in Carrollton. And you probably agree. But we've had an opportunity to work on several habitat houses. We prefabbed walls. We put foundation in on a house several years ago with students. Last year's class literally built the entire house, minus the floor system, minus the roof system, built the wall system inside our shop, took it apart, loaded it on several goosenecks. We hauled it across town on a volunteer day. The kids ran the show, standing the walls and framing and squaring that house. That was a big day. We've done several slabs for Eagle Scout projects, for Ace Hardware. We've done off-site slab work. Like I said, summer employment is always an opportunity for these kids to expand. And you just tell me when to hush.
We're about out of time. But
okay.
Chris, thank you so much for coming on the program. And for all of you tuning in, you can tell there's a lot to learn. So we'll have to bring you on the program again soon and keep talking.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you, sir. And for all of you tuning in, we'll see you next time.